You watch both Bengals-Ravens games this year?
Yeah.
All right. So if you know football, which I think you do.
Don't lead with that. Don't lead with that. You ain't
Well,
slick.
I said I think you do. So
don't lead with that. Don't do that.
Well, hold on, though. You watch those two games. Burrow clearly outperformed Lamar Jackson in those two head-to-head games. Smitty, it's not even close. Like, look at the stats, look at the numbers, look at everything.
Yeah.
Burrow and the Bengals had the Ravens beat twice, and guess who let them down? Not Burrow. The defense. The Bengals horrible. Bengals are horrific.
Let me cut you off real quick.
I didn't say it. We're talking head-to-head.
You want to put the finger at everybody else. You want to point at organization, owner, head coach, defense, divas and receiver. People want their money.
Oh, I'm glad you're going this way.
But we don't point the finger at the leader of the team, who is Joe Burrow, who I'm a big fan of, by the way. But I'm saying we got to keep it all the way consistent, all the way funky. When I grew up, when it's Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger, when those guys were the elite quarterbacks of the league, Drew Brees, we never had to think about them missing the playoffs. That was never a thought. If Peyton Manning was healthy and all these guys were healthy, that was never even like I knew for a fact those elite quarterbacks was making the playoffs. But with Joe Burrow, for some reason, this guy ends up in this position every year. They start the season 1-4. 0-3, 1-5, and then he claws and scratches his way out of the hole, and then we praise him because, oh my gosh, they have a chance of making the wild card. Well, Lamar Jackson don't need a chance because he's won a fucking division. Every year he just wins the division.
You got to clarify, though. You got to clarify.
Joe Burrow has to take blame for not doing enough and putting his team in this position. Josh Allen ain't got no help on that team. And look where they at. MVP candidate rolling right now, going to win a division.
That's why he's MVP.
Number 2 seed.
That's why he's MVP.
Talent all around him, and they still fight for a damn playoff position. At some point, the finger got to go to Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but like you said, you've told me before on this show that Lamar don't play defense.
Cut that, Paris.
Keep cutting it though, Paris. Lamar don't play defense. You told me on this show. So Burrow does. I'm confused, homie. You said Lamar Jackson don't play defense.
You came on this show and told me the Baltimore Ravens defense this year is one of the worst defense of the year. That's a fact, homie. And they still winning. Because Lamar Jackson is better than their weakest link. Lamar Jackson's greatness is better than their weakest link.
I gotta ask you a question.
So, bro, obviously isn't.
I gotta ask you a question though. I've heard Ryan Clark, yourself, and these other race baiting folks on ESPN. I want to be not you. I'm just saying race baiters on ESPN. Race baiters on yeah. You're not in ESPN. The race baiters on ESPN have continued to say that Lamar Jackson fatigue is what we're saying. You said just a minute ago, you used the same take. You said Lamar Jackson fatigue. Please explain yourself on what that means.
Well, talking specifically on the MVP race, the fact that he's won 2 times already, just won last year, even though that he's clearly the MVP this year by stats, by you put everything together, wins, everything, he's the clear MVP. We don't want to give it to him because, he already won twice. He just won last year. It's kind of like the NBA with Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic probably should have won MVP again last year, but they wanted to give it to Joel Embiid because for so long they're like, Joel Embiid is almost there. He's almost there. He doesn't get it. But at the end of the day, Jokic should have been the MVP. Same thing right now. Lamar Jackson's the MVP, y'all. Like it is what it is. But they're gonna probably give it to Josh Allen because they like Josh Allen and Josh Allen's having an MVP caliber season. So if he does win it, like we're all gonna be cool with it, but he's not having a better season than Lamar Jackson. We keep it real. He's 1 or 2 wins above him, so you can't say wins is like the whole thing. Because like if the Ravens was like 8-8 or something like that, or 8-7, whatever, cool, I'm with you. But they're right there neck and neck, and they played each other, and the Ravens beat their ass, and Lamar outplayed Josh Allen when they saw each other, and his numbers are just better. Like when you look at every other category, Lamar's literally better, but they're gonna give it to Josh Allen because of the word fatigue. Voters are human beings. I know one of the voters that works at Fox. It's natural. They're humans like you and I, JB. So naturally, you care about storyline, you care about all that, and they're going to be tired of giving to the same guy. So that's what we mean by fatigue.
Well, we're talking about MVP, and we're talking about what he does for his team. That's kind of on the description. I'm actually looking at the NFL description for MVP. It's what have you done? What do you do for your team wins play a huge role, and head-to-heads and who you play against in the race, okay? Those are things that are on this description. Fatigue is the funniest word I keep hearing, because last year Lamar Jackson was clearly outplayed, outperformed, and out-statisticed by Josh Allen and did not get the award. Josh Allen lost. Josh Allen lost to a guy that he clearly outperformed. So where is the fatigue when we're talking about Josh Allen last year clearly outperforming everybody in the NFL, and Lamar Jackson's statistics? Hold on, put your hand down, homie. Statistically speaking, Lamar had one of his worst seasons last year, but won. Now it's fatigue? It makes zero sense. By the way, if we're just discussing the statistical part that you just mentioned, and what we're doing for our team, which is in the description on MVP in the NFL.
And wins.
So Josh Allen has 2 more wins.
Okay.
Josh Allen is neck and neck statistically, has double the rushing touchdowns and yardage, and he's right with them passing. Touchdowns, rushing.
Oh, okay.
Josh Allen.
Yardage. Well, I'm real big on words, so let's be very clear right here.
Total yardage. So here's the issue. I want to be clear. I want to know why a guy that's leading his team, Buffalo Bills, without Diggs, Gabe Davis, without any big name wide receiver whatsoever, why he is literally not being discussed as the best player for his team in the NFL right now. How is that quarterback fatigue? So now we're going to downgrade and water down Josh Allen's worth by saying we're not going to give him the award because Lamar fatigue has set in. That is a slap in the face to Josh Allen, homie. Josh Allen outperformed Lamar last year, didn't get the award, and now this year we're going to slap him in the back of the face when he wins it because it was fatigue. To me, that is what's wrong with football, dog. I'm just being honest.
Jason, are you ready?
Yeah.
So listen, you keep bringing up last year. Last year was probably the worst year in NFL history, at least in recent years, at the quarterback position. We all watched it. We're on the show every single week talking about how bad quarterback play was. You ended up having me agree with you, Matt agree with you. So last year was a down year. So yes, so Lamar's stats was not phenomenal. But I do recall, my eyes do work. The reason why Lamar won, he was the best player on the clearly best team in the league. And then every single big moment in the season, whether it was Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, I think against the 49ers, who was the other best team in the league on the other side, he balled out, kicked their ass every single big moment. So that's why he won that over Josh Allen last year, because record-wise, it wasn't even close. And then every big moment, Lamar Jackson was that guy. That's why it was last year. This year is a totally different season. Quarterback play is high right now. We got Burrow balling, Josh Allen balling, Lamar Jackson balling, Matthew Stafford's playing solid, Sam Darnold's balling, Baker Mayfield's balling. Like, this season's completely different. So we keep bringing up last year. Last year was an anomaly. You're right. Lamar's stats wasn't an MVP level stats, but most of the league was down. So that's what that was. This year, stats are up from everybody. So it's like, okay, when I'm voting for MVP, I got to look at the overall team success and record, which they're neck and neck. And Lamar plays in a much tougher division in the AFC North. I think we all can agree, compared to the AFC least, with the New York Jets, who are horrific, the Patriots, who are horrific, and the Dolphins, who are trying to fight for a playoff spot. Let's just keep it all the way real. Where you got the Ravens over here, who've been fighting with the Steelers all year long for that top spot in the North. So that's number one. Number two, they faced each other face to face. We saw them play, and one guy got outplayed by the other, and one team destroyed the other. That's number two. Number three, they are close in stats, but Lamar's stats are better. Okay, so you got that. So you keep just stacking up the chips. Lamar is above Josh in more categories than Josh is above Lamar. So I just don't understand. Like, it has nothing to do with race at all. No, people know I'm a huge Josh Allen fan. Josh Allen's a football player. I don't call him a quarterback. He's a football player. He's an old school, tough, go do whatever you got to do for his team. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. I'm just calling it what it is. This particular season, Lamar Jackson is playing better right now than he did in either of his MVP seasons. And scratch last year. Last year was an anomaly. Let's think of his first MVP where he was the clear guy who won it. This year is way better than that year. So I'm just saying, like, when you put it all together, listen, it's a close race. If Josh wins, I'm not going to be, like, pissed off. But I just think we put emotions to the side. Lamar is literally just having a better season than Josh Allen in a tougher division. And then last thing, you mentioned that Josh Allen doesn't have many big-time receivers out there. Lamar ain't got no big-time receivers. Zay Flowers is a young second-year guy who Lamar is helping turn into a star. He got Rashad Bateman, a guy who's playing solid. He was a top draft pick.
We got to end the conversation, homie. You're going to tell me that
he ain't got no Jamar.
Derrick Henry doesn't help Lamar Jackson?
Out there. You act like he got
Derrick Henry hasn't helped. I'll let you talk for 10 minutes straight. You're telling me Derrick Henry now doesn't help Lamar Jackson?
Oh, of course. We're talking about receivers.
No. Don't even talk about talent, homie. Lamar Jackson clearly has talent.
The league, homie. No, fuck that. James Cook got 15 touchdowns.
You're out of your mind, dog. You're out of your mind.
You gonna listen to me.
I already listened to you, homie, long enough. I listened to you long enough. I already listened to you long enough. I'm not listening to no more rhetoric. I'm not listening to no more fatigue. I'm fatigued of your ass talking about this motherfucker. This motherfucker's hyped. He's having the best year. I give him the credit. I give him the credit. I give him the credit, homie. He's had the best year of Lamar Jackson's life. I've said it for many. Best year he's ever had.
He ain't a running back, is he? He ain't a
best year he's ever had.
He's a quarterback, ain't he? And you
not really, because he'll lose. He's gonna lose first round.
You're a hater.
He'll lose first round again. I mean, I didn't say it. He can't win a big game. He can't win a big game.
Okay.
So, I'm telling you, he can't win a big game. So when he wins the Super Bowl, he'll come back and talk to me. But I'm just telling you. And I'm gonna be honest with you again. I told you how I feel about Josh Allen, and I keep telling you he loses to who? Mahomes and Burrow. Until he beats one of them, he's not up there on my big-time board either. And as great as he is, he has to win the game when it counts, just like Lamar Jackson. I'm just telling you.
One quarterback that you like, and you don't even like him, Mahomes. If that's the case, ain't nobody winning but Mahomes. Who's winning? Who's winning right now but Mahomes? Who's winning?
What do you mean, right now, or who's won?
Who's winning? Like, who's winning? Okay, Stafford won one ring after playing
2. He's won the last 2.
Aaron Rodgers won one ring after playing 20 years. So, like, who do you fucking like then? If that's your argument, you like Mahomes. I guess you like Aaron Rodgers for what he did 10, 12 years ago, and you like Stafford for finally getting one after playing 15-some years. So you like 3 quarterbacks then, because ain't nobody else winning. Winning a Super Bowl is extremely hard to do, homie. And sometimes you can be great, but things don't go your way. We've seen all-time greats do it all the time. Dan Marino wasn't a real fucking deal because he didn't win it. Stop. He's a top 5 quarterback on your list. You already said on the show multiple times. I'm not going to let you do that, JB. I know you too well.